And now to some breaking news regarding Sony Pictures. The FBI is now reporting that North Korea may be behind the Sony hackers known as the Guardians of Peace. The announcement comes after the hackers not only released private and embarrassing emails, but also made threats about the release of the film, The Interview. Yiming Wu reports.
Lucky gentlemen are going to be in a room.
Cinemas are being threatened with hacking attacks if they screen The Interview, a movie about a plot to assassinate North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
Take him out.
Unknown hackers have again broken into the email system of its movie studio Sony, this time promising a bitter fate for those who see it when it opens on Christmas Day. Los Angeles police say they're investigating the threats, but Police Chief Charlie Beck says there's nothing to worry about so far.
We believe, and I personally believe, that most of this is done to put terror through messaging into the people of America. And if we react to that, then to use a phrase that gets overused, the terrorists win.
But moviegoers say they'd rather play it safe.
I will not go at all because, you never know. They might be playing a prank, it might be real, so why would I be there?
North Korea has called the movie an act of war, but denied responsibility for the cyber attack.
Meanwhile, stars of the movie James Franco and Seth Rogen decided earlier this week to stop showing up for personal promotional interviews and premieres surrounding that movie. And about an hour ago, Sony decided to cancel the release of the film altogether. This was after 4 of the major 5 cinemas said they would not show the movie at all. Regal's, Cinemark, Cineplex, and AMC all agreed to delay or drop the Interview film. 2 smaller chains, Bowtie Cinemas and Carmike, have also decided not to show that movie. Now, I want to bring in cybersecurity expert Scott Schober to talk about the latest developments. Now, Scott, this isn't really just about exposing private emails, is it?
No, it's certainly much bigger than that when you think about it. Point well said. It's about a lot bigger things. When you look at what happened and what's transpired just in the past couple of weeks, this is huge.
It caused Sony to actually cancel the release of a major motion picture for them. Is this something that they really should have done? I mean, are they still kind of folding to the pressure?
Yeah, you make a good point. They probably should have been a little more proactive and probably should have canceled this up front. Instead, actually, the different cinemas are taking the action themselves because they see the threat to the consumer, those that are going to see the movie. So they said, hey, we're going to cancel. We don't want to risk this because of public security.
How skilled are these guys that are doing the hacking?
Well, very skilled. We don't have enough information yet, but again, it's believed to be the Guardians of Peace was reported, as well as a couple other agencies. Is North Korea behind it or not? It appears that way, but I don't think it's a direct assault or a direct attack. It's probably funded by them, which is the scarier part, by another outside strong cybersecurity group that's actually hacking this.
Yeah, all right. So the FBI now is kind of pointing the finger back at North Korea. Some of the malware was written in Korean, could have come from anywhere, but of course the North is very suspected with this. Where do we go from here? What kind of steps should Sony be taking, and are they taking the right steps to kind of prevent further threats like this?
Yeah, well Sony is unfortunately kind of boggled this through the whole process as far as informing the public, taking precautions, and the amount of information that's actually been leaked has caused a lot of problems and damage there. So they got to be more proactive informing people.
Scott Schober, thank you for joining us here with that excellent report. Thank you very much. And now looking at worldwide news, Pakistan is still in shock a day after a deadly terror attack at an army-run school. 148 students and teachers were killed there. Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has lifted a ban on the death penalty as a first step in retaliation for that attack. As the country starts 3 days of mourning, Army Chief Raheel Sharif visited the injured at a military hospital.
It is one of the saddest days of our history. Unfortunately, all of us are ashamed that we have these people with worse than animal instincts who could come and kill innocent children in such a mass scale.
And there were candlelight vigils across the country as parents said goodbye to their children at mass funerals around Peshawar. Just a day after the school massacre, 2 bomb blasts exploded at another Pakistani school in northwestern town of Dera Ismail Khan. Security forces closed off the area around the city's Girls Degrees College. No injuries have been reported, and no group has claimed responsibility for that attack. And in Afghanistan, Afghan insurgents stormed a bank in the southern province of Helmand, killing at least 10 people there, including 3 policemen. Vanessa Johnston has that story.
Afghan security forces engage in a fierce firefight at a bank in Helmand province, captured by amateur video after suspected Taliban militants detonated a suicide bomb, then stormed the bank branch while civilians were inside, according to police. A Kabul bank guard says his colleague was killed in the fighting.
I was at the second gate of the Kabul bank when suddenly suicide attackers riding motorbikes entered the first gate. I tried to pick up my gun, but they opened fire and entered the building. As a result of the gunfire, my friend, who was a guard, was killed, and I escaped from the area.
It wasn't immediately known how many people were inside the bank during the attack, but those who escaped said the bank was busy with government workers who had come to collect their salaries.
You're watching Arise News Now.